We want to turn our attention now to a story topping headlines out of Clearwater, Florida.
Yeah, that's right. The son of pro wrestler, Hulk Hogan, we all know who he is. Well, his son, Nick Bollea, is in hot water again after being arrested on Saturday for driving under the influence.
But what makes this a bigger story than just another almost famous person getting a DUI? That happens. Well, Scripps News in Tampa has the details.
It was a story in the spotlight in the Tampa Bay area 16 years ago. A crash in 2007 involving Nicholas Bollea, more commonly known as Nick Hogan, the son of wrestling star Hulk Hogan. Phone calls to 911 operators back then painted a picture of panic.
They was racing. They were racing. I saw them. Yeah, it was two cars drag racing. He was drag racing.
At the time, officials in Clearwater said that investigators interviewed several witnesses who stated they saw then 17-year-old Bollea and another driver racing before Bollea lost control of his car and crashed into a tree. Bollea was arrested for reckless driving for the wreck, which seriously injured his passenger, John Graziano. A judge sentenced him to 8 months in jail. ABC Action News was there when Bollea walked out of the Pinellas County Jail. That day, his family didn't talk to reporters, but the attorney who prosecuted Bollea for his involvement in the 2007 crash did.
Him serving his time is just partial justice. Moving on and actually making a greater use of his life, that would be a form of justice, but only if John Graziano was 100% better, I think you'd actually have justice.
Graziano suffered severe brain damage. Monday morning, I heard from Deborah Graziano, John's mother, regarding Bollea's recent arrest. She told me in a text, quote, "I think it's a complete lack of respect for what his reckless driving did to my son. It shows me how life goes on as if nothing happened for him. I can only pray that before it's too late, he turns his own life around." Deborah shared with us these photos, one 6 weeks before the crash and one now. She went on to tell me her son still can't speak, walk, or eat, but that he's aware and surrounded by love. We reached out to Bollea and his family for comment on his recent arrest and have not heard back. In Tampa, Mary O'Connell, ABC Action News.
All right, still with us, attorney Marcia Minot. This is such a tragic
Oh, I'm
story.
incensed. I don't think it's tragic. I think it's horrific. You do this, you have an accident, you cause those kinds of injuries, and then you end up, even if it's years later, doing it again. I just don't have a lot of tolerance, and I apologize. I just stepped all over your toes.
No,
but
it is.
that's
Please
how I
do.
feel.
I know. I'm with you. Those heartbreaking photos, what I'm referring to, the before and after. I mean, that's just put that in front of anyone.
Yeah.
And how can you not be enraged, Marcia?
You have to be enraged. If, assuming arguendo, the facts are that he actually was under the influence. I did a little bit of preliminary research, and it appears that this stop didn't occur because they suspected him of DUI. This stop was because he failed to move over while the officers were investigating. The bond also concerns me because the bond was only $500. And sometimes a low bond speaks volumes as to what the magistrate judge thinks that the evidence is going to prove in this case. He did do a field sobriety, and according to the officers, he didn't pass it, but he would not blow, so he did not do a BAC. So hopefully this young man is learning, and he actually was not DUI, and that he has learned his lesson, that people can actually get seriously hurt. And I can understand why the family would be outraged that he's rearrested for something like this.
And Marcia, you make such a great point, and it kind of made me just sit back and say, you're right, he's innocent. He's innocent. There's a presumption of innocence. We don't know what the evidence is. Maybe he wasn't DUI, and that changes everything. But if he's DUI, you know, these poor families, when you have a victim of a horrible circumstance like this, and it changes, I know firsthand, it changes your life forever. What do you say to them? Do you think, Marcia, at the end of the day, if it was a true DUI, that justice can be served?
I think if it is a true DUI, justice would be that he serves the maximum penalty, because he would be a recidivist. This would be him being irresponsible again with an automobile, which is a deadly weapon if not used properly. So I absolutely believe that they could add additional counts, such as reckless driving, to make sure that he serves more than just the statutory 12 months on a DUI.
Yeah, absolutely. And hopefully this was some sort of a wake-up sign.
Yeah, you'd hope. You'd hope.
For him. Hopefully, we don't know.
Absolutely.
But, you know, hopefully that's considered, especially if he does decide to challenge this or plead to something, that some help there is given for him, clearly still with these issues. We are running out of time. Judge Ashley, I know we're approaching the top of the hour. I do want to thank Marcia Minot for joining us this hour and for your expertise there.